Well, good afternoon, Ed. We were just in a meeting together, so this feels a little artificial, but
hello again.
Yes, exactly. To our Facebook and Twitter live feed viewers, this is Ed Ziesmann. Ed is with the Arthritis Society of Canada from the mothership. I like to think of you as the largest charity in Canada. Ed's going to tell you his title because I don't want to mess that up. But he's a bigwig there. He's vice president. We're really happy that you came into the studio with us. Our hashtag See Arthritis event. This is our 5th year, Ed. I think this is your first time being interviewed.
It has been, but I have been following you.
You have been following.
Sure.
That's very good. That was the right thing to say.
Okay.
We've just really started today, and we've heard some really interesting things from the program chair, Dr. Tom Appleton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he talked to us about building bridges, and which is the theme of this year's annual scientific meeting. And I thought you would be the perfect guest for us because you and I have been working together on a project. And our jobs, I think, in large measure, are about building bridges with our communities that we serve, which are people with arthritis.
Yeah.
So tell me, give us your snazzy title,
Okay.
and then tell us in real terms what you do there.
All right, maybe not so snazzy, but it's Vice President, Education, Programs and Services. So that I would say that has about 3 main hats that I have to wear. One, we develop content and material for health professionals in terms of best practice care related to arthritis. Another piece is a large therapy program, which unfortunately only operates in Ontario. It's funded by the ministry there. And we have therapists throughout the province that deliver assessment, consultation, and education services to people with arthritis. And then the third piece is really around developing education materials for our audience here and for anyone with arthritis. So we certainly help them with a theme of trying to develop content that is helpful in their self-management of their disease. So our website is loaded with that kind of stuff, and I'm responsible for making sure it gets there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. In fact, you just underwent a big overhaul, I think.
That's right.
And I don't think people appreciate when you're a health charity the size that you are. It gets dense, and so to reformat, to rethink it is a massive exercise. So congratulations.
Thank
I think
you.
there are many improvements that have been made on the site, making it easier for people like me to find the things they're looking for, kind of when and where they need them.
Right.
Yeah.
We have the consumer in mind in terms of locating stuff, but there's always room for improvement, I suppose, and we're happy with the product so far.
Well, there's never a perfect widget, right?
Maybe not,
Yeah. When you think about the society and the time that you've been there, Ed, and I recognize you're in the national office, which is headquartered in Toronto, but you have divisions from coast to coast.
Correct.
Tell us about some of the things you see going on at the sort of divisional level. Like, we're kind of, as I see it, you guys set high level direction.
Yeah.
You're providing, sort of support almost for those through leadership to those divisions, and the divisions are also bringing leadership to the national office, sort of trying to help shed light on what people like me need across your various divisions.
Right.
So when you think about your organization and what you're doing currently, what really excites you? What do you think that people with arthritis across the country can look for from the society and will really benefit from? Well, I know there's many things.
Sure,
I'm asking you to cherry pick.
Okay, all right. I'm very excited about what we're calling a symposium series. And we're hosting that in each division over the course of the year. But what's different about that is we have decided that instead of making it a face-to-face event only, we're going to broadcast that across the country so that each constituents throughout the country can benefit from wherever this event is. So we're going to host it in Vancouver and Winnipeg, Toronto,
So
Montreal,
video conferencing technology? Is
yes,
that how they're going to?
We're leveraging that. So we'll have keynote speakers and themes for each of those. And so this is one of our efforts to try and reach more people with arthritis, because as you know, the face-to-face events tend not to reach that many people. You're either present or you're not. And this is a good example of how we can reach many more people. So we want to make sure that our reach is optimized as much as possible. So we're doing a blend of face-to-face. There's still going to be people present,
Yeah.
but all of that will be broadcast as well. And so
Yeah.
we just did a bit of a test event in Vancouver this past weekend.
Of course,
And,
that's where all the great stuff first
It's
happens.
the center of the universe, is it?
You said it, and you're from Toronto.
That's right, I can
Believe
say
him,
that.
people.
All right. So we're happy to learn from that event and
Yeah.
then build forward
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
Well, that's super exciting. When we started Arthritis Consumer Experts, one of the things we did was go coast to coast, back and forth, back and forth. And you'd get 100, 150 people in the room, which would max out not just the rooms you could find, but the budget.
Yeah.
And
It is
it's just
expensive
it's a practical kind of it's a reality of trying to drive out evidence-based, research-based education, such as your organization, ours, and the other patient organizations in the country are trying to do. And face-to-face is so fantastic because I'm telling you, delivering a hug is still very meaningful to patients.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like seeing people in the same room, there's huge value to that. But I think with the video conferencing feature, I think that's sort of the next best solution.
I totally agree.
And the trade-off of not being there in person is reaching so many more people.
Yeah. And
So
you know
I
what?
think that's a great innovation.
Yeah, let's think
Yeah.
about what people want,
Yeah.
how they want their information delivered. And
Yeah.
this is a great example of that. They want to see it online.
Yeah.
It's convenient for them.
Yeah.
They can attend a lot more events. And so I think it's the way to go in the future
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, we look forward to that, and we'll help promote them on
Thank you.
Arthritis Broadcast Network as they come up in the different communities.
Great.
I'm thinking about something that's quite special that's going to happen first of the month, basically. The Arthritis Society was the first to found as our leading health charity in the country, serving patients, actually in some provinces, actually running clinical programming, such as you've just described in Ontario. The Arthritis Society, founded in British Columbia by a fearless woman of the name Mary Pack. I had the great privilege of meeting her just near the end of her life, and she was an incredible inspiration to me. She drove me to volunteer for the society, served on the board in BC, donate. She just was that, was a special
Driving force,
She was a driving force. You're heading into 70 years now.
I know.
And taking nothing away from Mary Pack, there's a new vision for the society, I think. You stand on the shoulders of Mary always.
Absolutely.
But when you look at the 70-year mark, Ed, what's going to happen early in March? So I want you to talk about the event.
Okay.
And kind of put us in the society's sort of shoes and put us into your vision goggles. And what do you see? What's the next legacy for you?
Well, the event that's going to happen is a recognition event. We're going to acknowledge the lifelong contributions of a clinician researcher, Claire Bombardier. It's going to be a really exciting event. Lots of people are going to be there, and we're really looking forward to recognizing everything that she's done in the rheumatology sector.
Yeah.
She's been a friend of the Arthritis Society and really ACE as well. But it's just terrific, the kinds of things that we can share with others about her accomplishments.
Yeah.
Not only in the research field, but also in her clinical field. So she's been a real inspiration, not only to the society, but many people who have arthritis.
She's always been very supportive of patient involvement in both research and clinical decision-making and education. She's been a huge supporter of all of ours, I think, so the recognition is so deserving. I ran into her in the hallway yesterday.
Yes.
And she told me that the Arthritis Society gave her first grant. And that it was because of the Arthritis Society that she not just came to rheumatology, but stayed in rheumatology. So I thought that was an amazing testimonial for what the society does for early career physicians who want to really focus on treating people with arthritis.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Cheryl, because our focus going forward certainly is to support the young investigators, to give them a kickstart, if you will, to their careers, because it's often difficult to secure funds to conduct research in a way that is innovative and new and fresh. And we certainly want those investigators to be feel supported, if you will. And if they're inspired by the work of Claire and others, wonderful. That's
Yeah.
where we really want to go in terms of our efforts going forward.
Are there tickets still available to the event? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I don't want to promise that there is.
So, but people can go to your website,
Yeah.
arthritis.ca, to learn about the event. I believe it's on the 2nd or 3rd.
I
I
you're
should
right.
know
I
this.
should know that too. I think
Yeah.
it is a second.
Yeah, I think it's March the 2nd.
Yeah.
And it's in the evening. It's in Toronto.
It's in Toronto.
So please visit the Arthritis Society's website to learn more about that. If you can't attend, at least you can learn about what's going to happen that night, not just to celebrate Claire, but also to celebrate the 70th anniversary
That's right.
of the Arthritis Society. And I understand other pioneering women in the rheumatology community. And I would like to close by telling people something that's super exciting for you and
Okay.
I. Ed and I have been working together, our organizations, as well as representatives from the Indigenous arthritis community in Canada, clinicians, researchers. The Arthritis Alliance of Canada, which is sort of our umbrella, they're the glue kind of that holds a lot of us together in dialogue to help people living with arthritis in this country. We've been working on a handout specific to patients. So it's been created, very simple, folded piece of paper with some vitally information on osteoarthritis.
Right.
So just maybe tell our viewers a little bit about the origin of the project and what we hope it will do for people.
I'd love to do that.
Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl's been a big part of bringing that whole project together. The project really emanates from something that occurred about 2 years ago, where a group of subject matter experts in osteoarthritis developed a tool for the purposes of educating frontline clinicians, primarily family physicians, who are typically responsible for managing osteoarthritis if it's pre-surgical, if you will. And so that group developed a very nice tool that is in the hands of family practitioners now. It was a joint effort with the College of Family Physicians of Canada and the Arthritis Alliance of Canada. And it's something that we wanted to emulate in terms of developing a companion piece that allowed, it had three main objectives, if you will. One was really to help people with arthritis self-advocate to how to get better care and to get the right care and to learn more about their disease. It also helped them to self-manage their disease. So what are the things that they need to be mindful of as they live with arthritis, because there is no cure at the moment, as you know. And the third piece was to help with their health literacy. So understand the system, what's going to happen to them, maybe some of the language that's used when their visits with healthcare providers. And so this tool was meant to mirror that original tool designed for family doctors so that a dialogue could happen.
Yeah.
An enriching dialogue that puts the patient at the center of the discussion and really hopefully drives the discussion a little bit, because it's developed with the consumer in mind, the person with arthritis, and all the work that you and I have done and others have been geared towards developing a tool that is reflective of what a patient wants and needs to know without getting too complex.
Yeah, it's kind of just in time information.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about that. We're looking to launch that at some point in the spring. We have a little bit of tweaking to do with it, but we have a terrific draft presented right now. We will get that approved eventually through the Arthritis Alliance Models of Care Committee, and then it'll be ready for prime time, if you will.
Yay!
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that we couldn't underscore enough the importance of trying to power patients who are experiencing joint pain in those very common joints where osteoarthritis appears, the knees, the hips, the hands, the back. Because a joint exam is not part, believe it or not, even though it's the most common chronic disease. Sorry, this is my rant. Bear with me.
Okay.
It's not part of their regularly scheduled exam. It's fascinating. They listen to the heart, they listen to the lungs, they put something in your ear and check out your ears. But really, a standardized exam of the joints doesn't often occur. So as you say, this handout on joint pain is intended to help the patient, the person like me living with the disease, go, hey, have had some joint pain here, and there's some facts on it. There's some drawings that show people where the common spots are.
Yeah.
Like, it really is that sort of tight compendium of information that a patient would need to have to self-advocate. You nailed it. That's really what this handout is all about.
And you said something very important just now, Cheryl, that the handout itself points to people who have joint pain, because
Right.
that's what they're relating with. They don't know that they have osteoarthritis.
Right.
They may not.
Yeah.
But the handout is designed for someone who is potentially someone who has osteoarthritis, who may already have it, but not well educated in how to manage it.
Right.
So it serves multiple purposes, and it does speak the language of the person on the street, if
Yeah.
you will, so
Yeah,
that we
exactly.
don't complicate matters for them.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for giving us that update, Ed. It's super exciting.
You're
It's
very
been
welcome.
such a pleasure to be working with you on that. And I guess all of us over the years who have accessed the information and services of the Arthritis Society are very thankful for your continued thriving and surviving as an organization. And we congratulate you on your 70th anniversary.
Thank
and we
you.
really look forward to the celebration of Dr. Bombardier. I think that's so fitting and a great champion to salute.
It's been great working with you. It's the
Yeah.
first time directly, Cheryl, and I appreciate
Yeah.
all your efforts, so I
Fantastic.
look forward to that.
Just a little Ed Cheryl love in here.
Mm-hmm.